Welcome back to another episode of the Harrogate Town RTG career mode, the last ever Harrogate Town video on here. I decided to jump in and try and win the Premier League, seeing we haven't won the Premier League yet. We'll give it one full season in this entirety of this video. You can see here we have 361 in the transfer budget. That is with the corporation tax of over $500 million. 95% of what we earned last season has been taxed. We would have had close to 800 million if we hadn't get taxed. So yeah, 361 million. And at first we are going to honor the overall rating of that 90 overall, but that's going to quickly go out the window. And we start off this episode by bringing in Pau Cubarsí over from the Barcelona. Barcelona wanted to kid he might actually be in Barcelona in this save, but Cubarsí is going to come in at 90 overall. He was somebody I was looking at last season, but he was still overall higher. He was like 89 when Durodov was 88 or something like that, so we couldn't have brought him in. But now Durodov and Cubarsí meet that rating. So for 105 million, he comes in from Barcelona, who's been spending his whole entire life there. He comes over now to the Premier League and joins us here at Harrogate Town. He's going to be a star making, but here we go. I was going to stick to the ruling of the highest overall is the highest overall we can sign, but when I was looking at players, I seen this guy, and I simply just cannot refuse because, well, he is an amazing player. He's obviously a youth generator, youth prospect, a youth regen of some sorts. I don't know who you regen in of, I should say, but he is 95 overall, and he's going to come into the squad. Javi Moreno comes into the squad for 100. And this is going to be a weird price tag as well because, well, in the game, I had less budget than I actually had in the actual spreadsheet what I actually had, so I didn't realize until after. But for 138 million points, that's literally what my transfer budget was left. I literally had to obviously put money back into the club to be able to sign him on a permanent, but he comes in for pretty much 140 million there, so we say hello to him. We also go ahead and bring in another winger, and a winger by the name of Vinicius Jr., who's 34 years of age, 87. He was 86 after once we got to the first game day of the save. His contract was expiring, and you know what? I said screw it, why not? We can use some experience in the squad as well to get over the line. For 55 million, he comes in over from Napoli to come in. We say goodbye to Carastas to try and balance the books a little bit. He's off to Bayer Leverkusen for 103 million. We simply did just not need him anymore. We obviously don't play that cam formation. We are going back to the 4-4-2 with Kostas back from injury and Sonny Cox obviously leading the line as well. We also are going to go ahead and bring in another midfielder by the name of Kobe Mainu. Obviously in real life, by the time you're watching this video, he could be on loan or he could still be at Manchester United. But here's the squad. We have Restes, Reed, Cubarsí, Vuskovic, Hall, Moreno, who's 95 overall, Warren Zayamery, who is obviously our midfielder and captain, Bruno Durodov, who is 90 overall here, Kostas and Cox as a striking partnership, and George as the left winger. We go ahead and play the UEFA Super Cup, or we sim past it, I should say. We win 3-1, and now we are going to kick off the Premier League season here against Manchester United, the team that won it last season, the team that actually nearly bottled it last season, and they start off strong. They go ahead and go 1-0 up here with Benjamin Sesko scoring a header in the 17th minute, and Manchester United are going to go ahead and quickly double that as well with Benjamin Sesko scoring his second to make it 2-0. And then right before the break, or a decently amount of time, 15 minutes before the break, they go ahead and make it 3-0, and it's all looking red. Into the second half here, we get a good ball into Kostas, and Kostas is going to score the first goal of the season. Of course, it's him or Sonny Cox. Obviously, Kostas was on fire. He was breaking numbers. Vinicius Jr. comes on, gets absolutely chopped out in the 88th minute. We are going to have a penalty here in which Javi Moreno is going to go step up and take it and put into the back of net. And with 2 minutes left to go, anything is possible, but nothing will happen. We will go ahead and lose the game. I got EA'd, and they kept control of the ball. So we'll quickly go into the second game of the season here against Ipswich Town. And Ipswich Town, here we go. Zayamery will score his first goal of the season and open up the scoring here, 7 minutes in. This was a weird thing. You're going to see in some of these games, I either get tied or go up and come back on, or I'm going to absolutely destroy teams. It was a mix of both, and this was definitely a demolishing. We go ahead and go 2-0 up there. I didn't even know who scored that one goal. And then that's Tyreek George scoring off of a corner. That's when you know Ipswich defense is bad. When it's not Vuskovic or even Jelch scoring the header, or Cubarsí and Kostas with a great low finish on there to make it 4-0 in the first half alone. We go ahead and just jump to the result here. We end up winning 6-1 against Ipswich Town and get straight into the next game here against Brighton Hove Albion, in which Durdov plays a beautiful ball in behind for Kostelos, gets right behind the defender. Kostelos save. Durdov will finish it up. He will get the assist to his own self. It's Harrogate Town 1, Brighton 0. Durdov passing it to Kostelos, but getting the assist himself eventually, and they're going to go ahead and make it 1-1 here. Lack of concentration for myself and just great footwork there. And then in the 60th minute here, we're going to look to try and make it 2-1, and Bruno Durdov is going to do his magic and make it 2-1 here. 78 minutes now down the drain. It's going to look to be 2-2, and Restes had some shaky moments this season and definitely looked out of place in some aspects. We're going to go ahead and get a penalty here in the 85th minute, but the game and Cox's penalty must not be great because it went quickly, and we absolutely skyrocketed his penalty, so a 2-2 draw there. And next up, we go to Wolverhampton Wanderer Park, in which they're in behind here in the first 7 minutes. Irving chips the keeper, and Restes caught out of position once again. It's not going to be the first time. It's obviously not going to be the last. Sonny Cox, though, comes down the lane about 15 minutes later and goes ahead and scores to make it 1-1. And we, of course, back to level terms here. And then Kostelos again, a good through ball in, and a first-time finish. A P-roller finds the back of the net. Sonny Cox splits in behind the defenders, finds Kostelos on the 1-2, and he has an easy tap in. And then that's another great ball as well. Whoever that was just waiting for that run taps it into a wide open net, and then Kostelos with the acrobatic to finish this game off to win 5-1 against Wolverhampton Wanderers. They started off strong, but they absolutely fell flat. And into the Everton game, Sonny Cox opens up the scoring here in the 36th minute. Into the 38th, we get one straight off a kickoff. That's a great ball into Durdov, but the defender fell asleep there. He was an easy interception away. And then right before halftime, we're going to take it ourselves with Kostelos to make it 3-0. I'm thinking the game is over, done and dusted, right? Because, well, it's 3-0. We sit into the end, we lose 4-3. We lose 4-3 to Everton. Alcaraz, Fabio Silva, Alenga, and Fabio Silva all score in the second half, and Everton go ahead and win there. So we lose our second game of the season. Next up, we look to bounce back against Borussia Bournemouth. Borussia Bournemouth. That's a new club name. AFC Bournemouth. I don't know why I was thinking about Borussia Dortmund for some reason, but hey, it was. They take the lead 1-0, and of course, we come down later down the line, and we are going to quickly equalize, I should say. It's 1-1, and then into the second half here. Here's Tyreek George down the left-hand side. What I will say is I did not sub a lot of the times here. A lot of these times when I was playing these games, and you see I start to play a lot of these games, my entire goal was I was going to play every 38 games, but I want to record this video done today and be done with FC26 or FC25 today, and not have to wait a whole nother week and stuff to record just this part. So we start to play games, but then we also start to sim and quick sim a lot of the games here. But you can see here we are just running riot. Sonny Cox, Kostelos, Durdov just doing what they do and absolutely destroying some of these teams. They do go and make it 4-2. They're going to go and make it 4-3 when we jump the simulation, but we are going to hang on to this lead. We're not going to throw it away like we did against Everton, and we are going to go ahead and win 4-3. And up next is Newcastle United, who actually are going to struggle this season and come down the line. You'll see where they're at. They start off strong here with a flying header, Van Persie style-esque, but he's offside. And then down the line on the other side of the field, Sonny Cox is into the back of the net. Sonny Cox is probably the best player I've used on any FC game in a long while. Besides my youth generated striker that I used in Wakefield the first year I did Wakefield, I think, in FIFA 21 maybe, or is it FIFA 23, something like that, whatever the last FIFA was. We jumped to simulation there against Newcastle United and win 3-0, and now we jump into simulation here against Fulham. We go 1-0 down behind, so we jump into the second half here, and Bruno Durdov, who's on the yellow card, in behind, slots it away, 1-1. The quality of play when jumping in after a simulation here, the AI just can't cope with that idea for some reason, and most of the time they'll just fall down. Here, Fulham, they don't. They fall down for a little bit and just surrender to themselves to it, but they come back strong and they make it 2-2, and then they come back and make it 3-3, and so now we're fighting the equalizer here, in which Sonny Cox is just doing Sonny Cox things. He finds the back of the net after getting past multiple defenders, and so we go ahead and pick up a 3-3 draw against Fulham. That was one of the weird times where the AI actually compute themselves after jumping into the simulation, usually you can just walk right over him. But Bruno Durdov is flucking. He is flucking insane here. 1-0 for him against him. Every time we play Aston Villa, they're going to bring up Harry Moss and how he was a former Harrogate Town player. It's okay, guy. You did your job, and then you got sold because, well, we brought in Lewis Hall. It's as simple as that. But yes, as I was saying, I actually don't remember what I was saying, to be completely honest, but all I know is that with dominating teams left, right, and center, it's Harrogate Town 4, Aston Villa 1. At this point, I don't show y'all the table for some reason for a long while, but we are sitting atop of the Premier League at the moment. West Ham United and Harrogate Town. Costalos opens up the scoring in the 21st minute. Yeah, this season, this whole career. Oh, Sonny Costalos was talking about as he makes it 2-0. He's the best player we used since Simon Hoffman of my Wakefield career mode. He has been absolutely insane, and honestly, Costalos is up there as well. Ballon D'Or. We have a player who won Ballon D'Or, and I was thinking it would be Sonny Costalos. No, it's Bruno Durdov. He wins the Ballon D'Or here for us at Harrogate Town. So the first player in 11 seasons, or 12 seasons now, to win the Ballon D'Or for Harrogate Town is Bruno Durdov, the silent hero. You obviously see names of Costalos, Sonny Cox, Basete, all getting the light of day here at the club because they're strikers, and we kind of feed the strikers here. But Bruno Durdov is a silent assassin. He goes ahead and picks up the Ballon d'Or, and he picks up his first trophy there. Liverpool in here, Oskarsson goes 1-0 up. We go ahead and tie it 1-1, and that's game over. We jump into simulation against Manchester City later, just after that, and we go 1-0 up thanks to Javi Moreno, the 95 overall, which honestly, I can't lie, he was rather disappointing in the games I was playing here. Zayama with the 84th minute winner against Man City, but Javi Moreno was rather disappointing here. Here's the first proper quick sim, I believe, after Norwich, who sit 20th, and yes, here we go. We sit now first in the Premier League table, 3 points ahead of Manchester United, 3 points ahead of Everton. We are fighting for Premier League title silverware versus Everton. That is where we're at. Harrogate Town, this is where we start quick simming a lot of games here. This is where I realized that playing 38 games or even simming through some games as well is just simply not going to work here. So we just start quick simming a lot of games. We are going to jump into simulation here against Tottenham, and I think this is actually going to start a pretty, not pretty, but a decent little bad spell here for it. We are going to go ahead and lose to Tottenham here. Krupa has been thorn in my side for this entire career mode every time we play Tottenham. He's just been there, so we go ahead and do that. And Chelsea, we go ahead and win 2-1. We quick sim against Arsenal. We draw 1-1. So actually, the bad start doesn't start. There was a stretch where we didn't win a lot of games, and halfway through the season, we are 1 point ahead of Manchester United, but they have a game in hand, so they could jump over this. Norwich are winless in the Premier League, and there is Newcastle United sitting in a relegation zone. Man City sitting in 8th. Yeah, it was not that, but off to Anfield now, and that scene, I only put that scene there because it's actually beautiful. There is no game sound because, well, I didn't record the game sound because I'm an idiot, so there's that. We take the lead here, though, 1-0 for Harrogate Town here. Zai Emery with the rocket from just outside the box to make it 2-0. Is looking to seal the deal here in snowy Anfield, and that's exactly what will happen. He will seal the deal. They actually had no shots and no chances at all, despite having 51% possession. We jump into simulation. We are into the January transfer window now. We're not letting anyone go. We're not signing anyone. Arsenal go ahead and make it 1-0, and then Endrick makes it 2-0, and they win 3-0. So there's that. And this is where the bad start swells because we lose to West Ham United as well, and then we lose to Aston Villa. So 3 losses in a row after beating Everton. I believe we go ahead and draw here. We do. Sonny Cox saving our asses there with a 2-1 draw. We get our get back on Tottenham and win 2-1. We beat Crystal Palace 2-0 again, so we do the double over Crystal Palace. I'm just showing you this because this is the FA Cup. We lose 3-2 to Southampton later down the line. We beat Leeds United 4-1, and with 10 games left to go, we are 2 points behind Arsenal, which is a game in hand, which is this, and we go back atop of the Premier League title with roughly 9 games left to go. We go ahead and beat Bournemouth 2-1, and with 8 games left to go, we are 2 points ahead of Everton with the game in hand. We are also 3 points ahead of Arsenal with the game in hand, and Wolves are 3 points behind us, but they also have a game in hand with us, so we can always stay 3 points behind them. But here's a title clash, a title challenge between Everton and Harrogate Town. That's right, Everton have a chance to win the Premier League title, and so do Harrogate Town. They start with a beautiful goal. Durdov comes down the line with the Trivella to equalize to make it 1-1, and the floodgates are seemingly going to start to open here. I don't know what they thought they were doing there. Don't know what Mendy thought was doing there, but he finds Kostelas. He blasts in the back of net into the second half. Nope, this is still the first half. Never mind. It's 2-2. Harrogate Town, just a lack of concentration on the defense. They make it 2-2. They're going to make it 3-0 or 3-0, 3-2 at the start of the second half. It actually wasn't as easy as I thought. Bruno Durdov is going to have a free kick here. He is the best free kick taker at the club now. You can see that 99 curve or whatever it was, 96 curve. The keeper makes a fantastic save to keep them ahead. But here is Ethan Winery on the field now for Bruno Durdov in the 80th minute. He's going to make it 3-3. And that was one of the rare cases where the substitution actually came into play. And we're actually going to draw 3-3 to Everton. So nothing changes. We are still 2 points ahead of them with the game in hand. We go ahead and beat Ipswich on the simulation 3-2 there. We go ahead and beat Fulham on the simulation there 3-1. And with 5 games left to go, we are 6 points ahead of now Manchester United, who's back in the draw as well. And that is who is up next. We win this game, we are more than likely going to be your Premier League champions. And it starts with Vuskovic with the absolute rocket that nearly found the back of the net, but Kostelas in behind, he will find the back of the net, and after that, Harrogate Town are 1-0 up, and Harrogate Town are going to look to make it 2-0 up here. Kostelas finds Sonny Cox, keeper just standing still. It's 2-0 for Harrogate Town, and we're looking one step closer to being Premier League champions. But here comes Dennis. He finds the back of the net early-ish into the second half here, and Benjamin Šeško is going to get taken out. It's going to be a penalty here for them to make it 2-2, and Ben Doak, the Liverpoolian, is going to score for Manchester United to make it 2-2 there. But here comes Vuskovic on the attack. He finds Kostelas in behind, and Kostelas is going to find the back of the net. 77 minutes have gone by. Harrogate Town are 3-2 up against Manchester United, with hopefully trying to hang on to that lead here. In Bruno Durdov, it's going to find Zayemery. Zayemery is going to find the keeper. The keeper is going to parry it over to Sonny Cox, and Sonny Cox is going to seal the deal. Harrogate Town beat Manchester United 4-2, and with 4 games left to go, we are all but Premier League champions here. And I'm pretty sure if we had beaten Wolves here and Arsenal drew or lost, we would have been Premier League champions after this game. But that's another fantastic save off of a free kick as well. Kostelas is in behind. He makes it 1-0 in the 42nd. And yes, again, the commentator did say at this point that today could have been a day that we won the Premier League. I'm telling you now, we weren't going to win the Premier League in this game. And yes, Sonny Cox there again, just showing why he's been the best player I've used. And there he is again. That's actually Kostelas this time. A P roller, an absolute P roller there to make it 3-0. And then Sonny Cox over the top and into the back of the net. 4-0 against Wolverhampton Wanderers. John Duran goes ahead and gets a consolation goal back there, but here comes the 4-goal lead back into the hands of Harrogate Town thanks to Kostelas. Good shot, and we're actually going to go ahead and win 5-1. So 4-goal. No shit, it was 5-1. Yeah, 5-1 there. With this game in hand now, 68, 71, 74. Yes, so yes. A win here, and we are your Premier League champions. We draw. We are not your Premier League champions yet. We draw 0-0 to Brighton Hove Albion. Now going into the game here against the Nottingham Forest, I'm going to tell you now, with the results that fell the way of the weekend before, Harrogate Town are your Premier League champions. So this game here, which we go 2-0 down, I was simply not paying attention to at all. I was just kind of just letting the time go out, and we are your Premier League champions after 12 seasons of just pure grit. We finally reached the summit of the English Footballing League. We obviously reached the European summit last episode yesterday, winning that Champions League, but now we reach the summit of Premier League football, from going to League 2 to Premier League champions. We are your Premier League champions. It has finally been done. We have finally done it after 12 long seasons, because this season was long. 12 long seasons we have won the Premier League. I can't remember how long we've been in the Premier League. We haven't fought, I don't think we fought relegation in the Premier League. I think we've always been relatively safe besides the first season. I think the first season might have been shaky, but after that, I think that was great. We started this career mode off in League 2 where we made it the FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea at Wembley. That was absurd in itself. That is when I knew something special was going to happen. And once we brought Sonny Cox in, the tides had turned forever. Sonny Cox was absolutely amazing. He obviously is a top goal scorer. I didn't put the stats of this season into the spreadsheet, so yes. So the last spreadsheet still stands. Sonny Cox had well over 300 goals, and even adding to this, I don't think he actually didn't reach that 400 goals. He might have reached 400 appearances, but he definitely didn't reach 400 goals. But Costelas is probably breaking into at least the top 3, top 4 goal scorers if I would have put his stats in, which I'm kind of actually tempted to do. I still have to say if I could do that and go see that, but I'll do that on my own time. But yeah, with the final game of the season, we sim against Norwich 2-0, and here is the Premier League table. Harrogate Town in first, Manchester United in second, Everton in third, and Arsenal in fourth. In fact, second, third, and fourth all finished on 67 points there exactly, so that's interesting to see there. Liverpool finished in sixth, Chelsea in 8th, Manchester City finished in 10th, Tottenham finished in 9th, I believe, and then going down, do I not scroll to the bottom? I'm pretty sure I scrolled to the bottom. Maybe I don't scroll to the bottom. Okay, maybe we just sit here in the top 8. But going down would have been Norwich, someone else, and Newcastle United. So Newcastle United got relegated. Sonny Cox had 39 goals. Costelas had 28 goals. Bruno Durhoff had 22 goals. Costelas actually didn't have that great of a season in all honesty. A lot of these games were simulations, so yeah. But that's going to be it for me. I will see y'all on Monday for FC26 related content. Until then, leave a like, subscribe, and peace out.